Incoming hostiles.
Hello and welcome to Ware Gaming Weekly for the week of July 24th, 2019. My name is Nick, and across the world from me and 3 hours ahead of time is my brother Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
For your information, Ware Gaming Weekly posts every Wednesday on youtube.com and on podcast services. This one's going to go up on a Monday. You can find out more about us at waregaming.com, and in the coming weeks, we will be streaming games live on twitch.tv/waregaming_. If you want to be a part of the show, make sure you write into us at weekly@waregaming.com, and you can tweet to us at waregaming_. How are you doing, Josh?
I am doing all right. Been very busy, not a lot of gaming, but there's also not a lot of news, so
Yeah,
it just fits.
yeah. Now, I've been, as everyone knows by now, I've moved to the other coast, not to the other coast, to the coast, the west one, and have been struggling to make ends meet because I did not line up a job before I got out here. Oops. So right now I am staying at my friend's house in Sherman Oaks, California, driving for Instacart and for Postmates, trying to make my bills, and it's really hard to do that. Unless you're doing it like 12 hours a day, and I can't, like, everyone who doesn't know is like the gamble between like gas money and then like the money you can actually put into your bank and stuff doesn't always work. Like I owe my
How much time do you spend out driving around when you could go out and put in job applications, things like that?
It's stuff like that. But usually 3 hours for Instacart gives me a pretty good amount of money. So, but that's neither here nor there. I do owe my roommate a ton of groceries because I've just been like eating all the food that I mean, I don't like take advantage of it, but it's here and that's all I got. So, unless I put money on my credit card, which I'm trying not to do. But I have played some games, and actually this first story is related to it, sort of. So let us get started with the who, what, and the where.
Let's do it.
This is a interesting article. Class action lawsuit on Switch's allegedly faulty Joy-Cons filed. Those are weird words together. There's a lawsuit being filed against Nintendo for the Joy-Cons. This is from Imran Khan on...
This is Game Informer.
Game Informer. Have you ever been playing a game using the Switch's Joy-Con, the little controllers that sit on the side of the console, and it drops some inputs or starts drifting toward a direction without you touching it? It's really infuriating. Nintendo even acknowledged that it can happen for a variety of reasons and offered to fix Joy-Cons in the first year after purchase. The fix, however, doesn't seem to fix the fundamental issues with the controller's design, and some owners seem to be tired of it and are looking for solutions in court. A suit filed by Ryan Diaz in the U.S. District Court in Seattle, Washington, alleges that Joy-Cons overwhelmingly experience the drift issue. Given enough time, Diaz argues, the problem becomes unfixable and games will perceive analog stick movements without any such input. Diaz activated Nintendo's warranty for Joy-Cons after first experiencing the problem and sent his in, only to have it crop up again a few months later. After one fix, Nintendo requires owners to pay for a repair, so Diaz just bought a new set. Under the suit, the plaintiff alleges that Nintendo knows about the issue with Joy-Cons from their own internal testing and the last 2 years of reports about the issue online. Nintendo's lack of warning on the subject is something that he feels is worthy of class action lawsuit. Diaz is seeking compensation from Nintendo for the problem. Business website Games Daily spoke to Brandon J. Huffman, an attorney with Odin Law and Media, who did not seem to think there's a lot of meat to this issue. For Nintendo, the best case is get it dismissed or the class does not get certified for some reason. Worst case is that Nintendo faces millions in damages and millions more in attorney fees, but I think that's pretty unlikely. Nintendo has yet to comment on the subject. I believe I read a different article that it actually is getting represented because I filled out, because it was asking for stories about your experiences with this issue. It was a weird name. Okay, yeah. I'm going to read a little bit more from a different article. This is from digitaltrends.com by Aaron Mamet. The law offices of Chemicals, Schwartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith moved ahead with the lawsuit after gathering information from players who were experiencing the problem. In the lawsuit, which was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington, this company alleges that the Joy-Con joysticks on the Joy-Con controllers are defective. And they also ask that if you have any experiences, there's a way to, fill out your, complaint on there. I tried to, and then it said it wouldn't take, like, there was like a 404 issue, or it wasn't 404, but it was basically like website overload, because I think many people have this issue. So I've had this issue playing Katana Zero. I started having the issue earlier in the life cycle of my Switch, but it hasn't been too bad. Yeah. But most recently it's gotten really bad. Like, I would notice it in Mario Tennis Aces. But sometimes I would think, oh, it's just the game, not me. But I would have my character would just keep running for the ball, even though I had let go of the joy stick. And then most recently with Katana Zero, there's a lot of the later you get into the game, there are more stealth things there are. Like, you have to wait and then attack. And if you're scooting into a location, my character would just keep going. And then either I would die or I would fail the mission, or there are sometimes you can pass a mission without meeting all of the requirements. And so sometimes that would happen. Okay. And at some points I'm like, oh, it's just user error. But there were and sometimes it would continue after I let go. But then there were times where I would start the mission and then be planning it out in my head, and my character would just go without me even touching it. And it was regardless if I used the D-pad or the Joy-Con for that matter, or the the joystick. So, now what I'm not sure of is if this is a Joy-Con specific issue, or because I've not tried playing the game with my Pro controller or anything like that. So, but yeah, it's really frustrating, and it, I think I don't know if it's more frustrating that it's inconsistent or not, because I would prefer. I mean, if it's a problem with the controller, then do I need to buy another controller? Or if it's a problem with the game, but it's obviously a problem with the controller. But I don't have any money to get another. Right. So I just have to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't recall too many issues playing with the Switch, but I did always prefer to play with a Pro controller. The PlayStation has a similar issue, but I don't think it's I don't think onset is as sudden or as early as this is mentioning. No. I did have that problem after hundreds of hours of playing Destiny, where I would have problems hitting the sprint button or running. The left joystick would start failing, but that was after extensive use, and that was just as simple well, it's time for a new controller. Or some people who are intrepid could take it apart and fix it or clean it out or something. I don't know, but the time I tried to do it, it didn't fix it. So
yeah, and I think that's specifically an overtime issue,
right? It shouldn't happen within the first couple of years of owning this $80 controller, So
Yeah, and I've had the Switch for almost a year next month. So it's barely even been, it hasn't even been a year.
And we never spent tons and tons of time on it.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I prefer to play with a Pro Controller because I don't like the Joy-Cons. So
right. So we'll see. I think I'll look more into like if I use the the Pro Controller, if it'll work. Just because I usually play it undocked, I don't really see a need to having the Pro Controller, but it would still work regardless. So maybe I'll do it and see how it goes.
All right.
So,
well, we'll keep an eye on that.
If you've had an issue, if you have had an issue with it, please sign up for this class action lawsuit. Well, I don't know if do you have to sign up for a class action lawsuit? Isn't it just like if you've had this issue?
I've never signed it. I've never been a part of a real class action lawsuit, so I am not a legal consultant, so don't ask me. But if you have this issue, you are more than welcome to look into it.
All right, take us next.
All right, moving on. PS5's next gen PSVR headset will be wireless, costs $250, and can even track your eye movement. By Alex Avard. This is from Push Square. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Leaked PS5 patents paint a detailed picture of what to expect from Sony's next-gen PSVR headset. Information about Sony's in-the-works next-generation console, the PS5, has been leakier than a Rapture pipeline on a bad day in BioShock. So much so that we even know a fair few things about its accompanying PSVR headset. After having PS5 confirmed to us earlier this year, a subsequent slate of patent leaks have revealed more about Sony's next steps in the virtual reality, particularly with regards to its next-gen PlayStation VR headset. As reported by Inverse, a slate of recently surfaced patents and trademarks filed by Sony reveal a number of details and prototype pictures of the PS5's equivalent PSVR headset, which will apparently cost $250 in the US, boast eye and head tracking technology, and even run wirelessly up to 5 hours of battery life. This sounds like pie in the sky stuff here. If you're one for the granularity of VR specs, these patents also suggest that Sony is aiming for a 560 by 1440 resolution for the PS5's new headset, along with a 120 hertz refresh rate and a 220 degree field of view. Earlier this year, another leak suggested that Sony may be developing a VR glove with haptic feedback, which, when paired with the head and eye tracking capabilities of this rumored headset, could create some of the most immersive virtual reality games yet. Sadly, we still have no idea about a release date for either the PS5 or its accessories, but the current bets are for late 2020, especially as Microsoft has already confirmed a launch window for its next generation console, Xbox Project Scarlet. So, like I said, this sounds like pie in the sky.
Well, right now it all looks like speculation. It says they're leaks. It's
all speculation.
Patents, even if it's a patented, like a leak of a patent, it doesn't mean necessarily anything.
Right. Patents are filed all the time. Oculus Quest, the newest VR, the newest handheld or wireless all-in-one VR headset is still $400.
Right.
PSVR released at $400. Right now, you could probably get a PSVR headset and the Move controllers for around $250. So the idea that a better version of the PSVR that is wireless with eye tracking, head tracking, and a glove would be $250 sounds kind of crazy to me. You're probably talking at least $300, $350 for something like that, just based on the technology alone. Not to mention they're not going to release it within the first year or so of the PS5, so they don't detract sales from that.
Yeah.
However, all of this sounds really neat.
I mean, I would love for it all to work.
Absolutely. Because this, the thing about the PSVR is, since it's compatible with the PS5, that means the PlayStation Move controller is going to be compatible with the PS5.
Yeah, exactly.
This failed attempt at motion controls and the previous generation, PS3 generation, was revived for this generation and is going to continue in the next generation.
That's amazing. Which I feel like I am the biggest winner of this because I got that for my 16th birthday, And then we played maybe a handful of games. I mean, it was never that good. But I never got rid of the controllers. So it made getting the PSVR not that hard of a choice, because like I already have two. Actually, I had already bought a PlayStation Eye camera as well, like for the PS4. I had two of the three components, so it was like I can just get this and then spend the money on games. So I remember getting the camera because I was going to use it for Twitch streaming, and I tried that early on. Those
cool.
things.
So again, those are just rumors. Take it with a grain of salt, and as soon as we have more information, we'll let you know. I did not get. I did bad this time on getting websites.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, you didn't.
PSVR was from the headset was from Games Radar, not Push Square.
Okay.
And then the next one is from comicbook.com.
The Red Dead one?
Red Dead, yeah.
Red Dead Redemption Remake reportedly in development at Rockstar. This is from Tyler Fisher over at comicbook.com. A new rumor has surfaced claiming that Rockstar Games is currently working on a remake of Red Dead Redemption that will release sometime in late 2020 or early 2021, which presumably suggests it's in development for both PS4 and PS5 and both Xbox One and Xbox Scarlet, and maybe PC as well. It also shares a few interesting tidbits about the remake, alongside revealing that Rockstar is also working on Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC featuring aliens. More on that somewhere else. The rumor alleges that the project is more of a remake than a remaster, and that it brings over the features from the new game. In other words, it makes it more in line with Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay and features-wise. Meanwhile, the map is also being made bigger, though it won't include Red Dead Redemption 2's map. The rumor also claims that Rob Whitehoff, the voice of John Marston, has come back to record new lines of dialogue to help connect the two stories. In other words, lines that reference Arthur and the events of the first game. It's unclear if other actors received similar callbacks, but you'd assume they'd be brought back. If they brought back Whitehoff, they'd bring back others as well. Apparently, the remake was supposed to release on the game's 10-year anniversary, which is next year, but development issues might mean it's pushed to 2021. Further, some of Red Dead Online team has been shifted to the project to ensure it's releasing on time. And this is perhaps the bit that sticks out and potentially discredits the rumor. There's certainly a lot of reasons to release a remake of the first.
Pause before we finish the rest of it. I don't know if there's any spoilers in the rest of this article, but you haven't finished the game, so just giving you the heads up.
It doesn't seem like there would be.
Well, okay, no spoilers.
Okay. There's certainly a lot of reasons to release a remake of the first game, namely making a ton of money, but to pull people from Red Dead Online to do so seems odd, because there's much more profit potential in Red Dead Online, but at the moment it's not being realized, mostly due to slow and lackluster support. That being said, take this with a huge grain of salt. This is the rumor from an anonymous source who claims to have a friend that's an environment artist at Rockstar Games. That sentence was like, oh. It's all a bit shoddy, and as you well know, the rumors pertaining to Rockstar Games are infamously unreliable. However, I've seen plenty of shoddy rumors and leaks like this turn out to be true, so who knows? Again, that was Tyler Fisher. Cool.
The idea of this being a total remake sounds weird to me. I think they have the basis of putting this game as a big DLC in Red Dead Redemption 2, because even though you haven't finished the game, you've seen the map. You don't go through the whole map in the story.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
there's a whole section of the map you don't even go to, and that you could, for the most part, put the entire Red Dead Redemption 1 in Red Dead Redemption 2. So the fact that they didn't just add it.
Well, and then again, I'm close to the end, but not that close. I think I'm on chapter 4. No, I don't know. Anyway, there's Blackwater in the game, which is where you end the first game. I think.
No, where you begin.
You begin in Blackwater?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you ended.
You step off the train into the Blackwater.
Now I remember where you end. So that world's there. And in Red Dead, in the original Red Dead's map, it's on the top right of the map. And on the bottom left is Mexico. So, like, you could really just keep fleshing that world out and just make it this huge thing.
I mean, I would like them to put Red Dead Redemption 1 in there. Obviously bring it up to a more realized, or higher fidelity.
Mm-hmm. But see, the people who didn't like Red Dead 2, if this was true, wouldn't want that treatment done to Red Dead 1.
Sure.
Just because there's a reason why they like that story and like that gameplay style that they didn't like in this one. It was slower, it was more deliberate.
Well, they could probably fix a lot of that. They could add some fast travel points. Like just put fast travel in the game. There's no reason for it not to be in the game at this point. I don't think detracting from Red Dead Online is a big deal because I don't know that anybody's playing Red Dead Online.
That was one of my biggest, I think we obviously started this show after we started we started the podcast after Red Dead came out, but I really wanted to be a part of that world. I really wanted to be like in the Red Dead like posse stuff, and then I haven't even finished beating the game. And it's not because I don't like it. It's just one day I played something else, or I just took a break.
Trying to get back to it, but
so
I'm sure we'll hear more about it if it's true, and if not, then we won't.
Yep. All right. Do you want to take us home? Oh wait, this isn't taking us home. It's second to last story.
Second to last story. GameStop is testing much different store layouts, including retro-focused ones. From Eddie McCook at GameSpot. Video game retailer GameStop has unveiled an ambitious plan for new types of retail stores. The company is partnering with a global innovation design firm, RGA, to create streamlined GameStop stores. The two companies are working together on designing and testing out stores, which GameStop says in a new release will introduce new ways for shoppers to try games before they guy them.
It does say guy. It's supposed to say buy.
It does say guy. It should say buy. The stores themselves will have a unique layout and purpose. Some of the store concepts will be focused on competitive gaming and homegrown e-leagues, while other concept stores will exclusively sell retro games and hardware. The new stores will be piloted in a select market, though GameStop didn't say exactly where they'll be tested or if it'll be somewhere in the United States. GameStop's chief customer officer, Frank Hamlin, said in a statement, quote, "We're on a journey to use our vast retail footprint to provide an engaging and well thought out experience that enhances our consumers' gaming interest," end quote. Hamlin said that GameStop wants to reimagine what the store experience can be. GameStop has seen better days. The company's share price is currently under $5 a share, which is close to the lowest it's ever been in the company's history. The company recently hired a new CEO, George Sherman, who said at the time of his hiring that he looks forward to putting GameStop through a large transformation. It appears these new concept stores are part of that. In other news, Hamlin recently told GameSpot that the retailer is excited about the PlayStation 5 and Scarlet, in part because they will have disk drives. Okay, yeah. This is very close to what I've said before that they need to do. They need, in my opinion, they need to shutter a bunch of stores because in some instances, there's GameStops across the street from GameStops, and that's just oversaturated. They need some stores that are bigger that you can go in and you can like have a lounge and play games and hang out with people, have a coffee shop or something where you have an environment, because we had a place like that, Cosmic Oasis down in Richmond, where you could go in and play board games or video games, and there was like a deli and things like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't particularly use it, but it was a popular stop. People went in and played Magic the Gathering and things like that. So if they were to bring more of that in, because around here there's no place to really do that. There's no like mecca of nerd nerddom that you can go to and do this kind of stuff. So I think that's a great move for them. I don't think it'll be proven until it shows. I think retro games is a bad idea because mom and pop shops are not doing well. They open and close all the time because they can't survive off of just selling retro games and hardware.
Right.
I think having retro games and hardware available is a interesting niche market, but I don't think a store that exclusively sells that stuff is going to do very well at all.
Right.
Having the E-League stuff is also a positive because as Fortnite and these PUBG and Overwatch and all, as these games continue to come out and become more mainstream, I think having these places for, hey, if I wanted to join an E-League, I don't even know where I would go. If I was 18, 19 and I was getting really good at Overwatch, well, who would I go to? How could I join a league here in the middle of the country and not in like LA or New York where you have these places? So if you have a store that's going to be like, hey, you can come in and try out for the team or whatever, and then maybe there's a joining fee or something, and then you can join, and then blah, blah, blah. If you do well.
And it creates, like smaller divisions that like, the Okolona GameStop has a team, and then like the Fern Creek GameStop has a team.
I don't think it'll be that small.
No?
I think it'll be more. I think it'll give the opportunity for more cities to have something like this, like Louisville and Lexington and Indianapolis or Jeffersonville. You'll be able to have these leagues, and the cream of the crop will obviously rise to the top, and then they maybe join up with the bigger leagues.
Yeah.
So I don't know that there'll be enough interest for like
every little store to have
a single. Yeah.
Well, I think. See, what I find most interesting about this is, in my opinion, in my experience, it's almost kind of like a return to the way some stores used to be, like Toys R Us. Because when I was younger, Toys R Us was doing similar things. Like I could go to every Tuesday, I went to Toys R Us and play Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and there was Yu-Gi-Oh competitions, which I know is different, but it's that same style of a place where people can go to gather and play something and be a part of a group. And so in a way, I think it's interesting that it's kind of going back in time a little bit, but also it is, like you said, filling a gap that is needed. And because GameStop has been doing poorly, well, I don't want to use the word, that seems like really bad. It's not as great as they used to be. I think this is a good way for them to get back in there. I think the hard part they're going to face is getting people to come to GameStop for those reasons. Because I go to GameStop rarely, and when it's either for hardware or software. I mean, or a game that for some reason I feel the need to have a physical copy of, which I don't often. But I got my PS Pro there. So
yeah, I mean, and for someone like me or you, it may not be a place that we would go, but if we were younger, if we were in our early 20s or in our teens, I would be more likely to hang out at a place where there was a bunch of games and gamers.
Well, and it goes back to my other thing about giving people opportunities to play something if they don't have it. We've never had a ton of money, but we've always been fortunate enough to at least have, if not the latest console, the one right before it, and be up on all of it. But if I'm a part of a family that can't afford to have games and afford to have the latest one and play the latest Call of Duty with all my buddies, me and my buddies can go to GameStop now, and we can play together, and you can be a part of the conversation without having to put your money down for that kind of conversation, especially maybe,
or at least not as much money. Maybe there's like a fee or a membership or something.
Yeah, maybe like if you did the power up rewards, if you were a power up player, you would get more game time, or that's a whole other thing. Like the logistics of it, that's on them. But But yeah,
Right.
and I can see being in middle school or in early high, or even in high school, and that being the thing you do.
Yeah.
And I would love to see it intertwined with a coffee shop because, or a deli, like you said. And now I know that's not.
Because sure, you could like, well, I've got a PlayStation at home, or I could play Fortnite on my phone, or whatever. But here, you can compete. You can come join a league or something, or try to get into the league, and then you can actually be like on an esports league or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And that could lead to more than just, well, just playing it in your house on by yourself or with people online. You could actually form the team in house and do like make mecha tournaments or something.
Or if you have a fire team that you create at at this place, there's so many possibilities. I think it's a really good idea. I'm not sure how it's going to be for GameStop. I think it's going to be really hard for them to rebrand themselves as a place that you go hang out at. But if they do it well, like if they even do it once right, then.
And I saw someone bring this up in one of the groups I'm in. What if you could go download games at GameStop?
Like take my PlayStation up there.
Take your PlayStation up there, like in some of these, in some communities, or even in your own community where you may not have the fastest internet. Maybe you can go up here. I can hook up my PlayStation and download all this stuff on like super fast Wi-Fi or a hard line or something. And while I'm up here, I'm playing, on the league with the league or something. And then when I go home, I've got the game I wanted to download or something like that. And maybe it was like on a supercharged like Tesla fee or something. Like I paid $5 to come download this super fast file or something while I was up here.
See, that's interesting. I wouldn't do it.
Well, no, you wouldn't do it. But if you lived in, somewhere
where I'm at right now, like I have terrible internet in the room where my TV is. It's terrible. It's like even Netflix.
Really?
There's reasons for it, but like I re-downloaded Red Dead because I'm gonna play it eventually, but I just left it there, and then when I woke up the next day, it was done. After I put it into rest mode. So it's interesting. If I had another reason, but that wouldn't be the reason I go. Personally,
sure,
but like you said, if you lived on the top of the mountain and you never got it, maybe that's a different story.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I still think GameStop can figure it out. I think the retro thing is a dangerous place for them to be because just retro sells, but not what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you still have money invested in GameStop?
I have not invested in GameStop yet. No.
Oh, okay.
But because they're still dropping. But I'm going to see what they do, and maybe I'll put some money into them because I think they can figure it out. But maybe not. Maybe they'll go the Blockbuster route and die off. But all right.
Last news story of the day. Uplay Plus games list includes nearly every Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Splinter Cell. This is from Dustin Bailey
at PCGamesIn.com.
Uplay Plus launches in September, and it'll let you play a whole swath of Ubisoft catalogs for one monthly fee. We already knew it would include upcoming PC games like Gods and Monsters, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Watch Dogs Legion. But now Ubisoft has revealed the full list of games coming to the platform. The full list is just as wide-ranging as you might hope, including titles from Ubisoft's biggest series going back for years. Every Prince of Persia game's post-Sands of Time is here. So, not Sands of Time, but
it's
all
kind of what it sounded like it said.
As are the Settlers 1 through 7, the South Park games, the Watchdog titles, a massive selection of Tom Clancy's branded titles, and every main series Assassin's Creed title. There are some notable omissions, though. Most of the Far Cry series is accounted for, but not the Crytek's original. Similarly, nearly the entire Splinter Cell series is here, except for Pandora Tomorrow, leaving you to jump from the first game to the third. But hey, at least you're getting classics like Beyond Good and Evil and Rainbow Six and Rayman 2. Uplay Plus officially launches September 3rd, and you can sign up for it now on the official website for a free trial lasting until September 30th. After that, it'll be $14 a month or $14.99 a month. In addition to the games themselves, Uplay will also include all DLC, so you'll have access to content including every Rainbow Six Siege operator. So,
and if you want a list of all those games, you can go to that Uplay Plus article that we just read from PCGamesN.com.
Great.
That's really cool. I think the price is just a little steep.
Yeah.
Personally. I mean, I know it's every game ever, but I'm not paying $15 a month.
And are you gonna play the first 6 Assassin's Creed games? Or
right? It's possible I would do it for a month and then maybe play through. Like I would if that's saying Prince of Persia is included, I would definitely go back and try to play Prince of Persia again. But I already have the South Park games. I have the Watch Dogs games. I have the Assassin's Creed games I want. So $14.99 a month is kind of a high price to play, any of their games, really.
Yeah.
Maybe not for 1 month. If I maybe marathon and played all of the ones I wanted to play in a month or two, I would probably be worth it. But I could justify paying that for a prolonged period.
Right.
Maybe $4.99 a month would probably be for a single publisher service.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a $4.99, because consider you can pay $14.99 for Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate, which you could play on PC, you could play on your Xbox, you could play eventually with their Xbox X Cloud, and you'd be able to play it anywhere. And it was not just Microsoft titles, but all Microsoft titles and any third parties they can get.
The same thing with Google Stadia. It's like, if I can pay this month for Google Stadia, and it already has like Breakpoint, I think, supposed to be coming to it, and the Division and stuff like that, there doesn't seem to be a need for it.
Right. So, like I said, $14.99, a little high. $4.99 would be. I would be more likely to subscribe to it for a month and forget about it for a few months than $14.99 a month.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, if you are a super Ubisoft fan, and I've said this before, most of my games, my favorite games are from Ubisoft, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, we both love the Assassin's Creed. I loved Splinter Cell up to the first few of them. The Prince of Persia, I love the Prince of Persia games. So they have good games. It's just that price is just too steep for me.
Yeah. But if you're interested, then maybe $14.99 is not a deal breaker for you. Then have at it. There's just too many subscriptions right now to have to do another.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, that's the show.
We're going to read off your list of upcoming games for this week. We have Beyond Two Souls, the Quantic Dream game, is coming to PC on July 22nd. Biotope on PC for July 23rd. The Division 2 Episode 1, the DC Outskirts Expeditions DLC. PC, PS4, and Xbox One on July 23rd. EA Access comes to PS4 on July 24th. Kill La Kill, if PC, July 25th. It says if.
Kill La Kill if.
Maybe. On July 25th. Songbird Symphony, PC, PS4, Switch on July 25th. Fire Emblem The Three Houses on Switch, July 26th. Kill La Kill If on PS4 and Switch on July 26th. Remothered Tormented Fathers, Switch, July 26th. I don't even want to know. Tetsumo Party, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, July 26th. Wolfenstein Cyberpilot VR, PC. Hang on. Cyberpilot VR comes to PC VR and PSVR on July 26th, as well as Wolfenstein Youngblood comes out PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on July 26th.
Ooh. Yeah.
What the list?
Ton of games. I don't have any money, but I would probably play. Well,
I would probably check out EA Access.
Yeah.
Since it's new, I'd like to check it out. We have the Division 2 DLC, but we haven't been playing it.
Yeah, I do. I really need to get back in there. But
did you ever beat Beyond Two Souls?
You know what? I haven't. But I was really close. It was actually I thought the story was interesting. It's just hard to wrap your head around the game play.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I think that is all for the week.
It is. Yeah. But we will be back next week with much more information. Of course, you can always be a part of the show by writing into us at weekly@waregaming.com. You can write to me at SpeakNicklish on Twitter.
And you can tweet to me at JawStep15. Don't forget, you can tweet to us at Ware Gaming _. We're still not doing video at the moment. Nick's not quite there yet, but we're getting close. So we'll keep you all informed. And until next time, say goodbye, Nick.
Goodbye, Nick. I just waved, but I just waved at Josh.
And I waved at Nick.